56-year-old Rhonda Young has been arrested and charged with attempted murder and 2 counts of attempted assault. The incident occurred early in the morning on the 30th of May 2022, located in the 600 block of Piedmont Cutoff Road in Piedmont, Alabama, when the authorities were called to the scene on reports of a domestic dispute between Rhonda and her boyfriend that led to her crashing a truck into the front of the mobile home. Her boyfriend was standing on the porch when he was thrown back into the house when it was hit. He was taken to the hospital for treatment to an injured leg. 2 other people inside the home were unharmed. Rhonda was taken into custody and is held at the Calhoun County Jail on bonds totaling $78,000. The incident is still under investigation. 43-year-old Adam Troy Bennett has been arrested and charged with murdering 64-year-old Peter Hillier while travelling around Australia together. The pair were last known to have lived in Lake Haven, along the New South Wales Central Coast. Peter recently purchased a motorhome in April this year, and they left to go on a road trip together about a month ago. The pair had been staying in temporary accommodation at a holiday home, located at 21 Sandham Street in Venus Bay, South Australia. At around 11 AM on the 30th of May 2022, Adam contacted emergency services to report that Peter hurt himself the day before, after being drunk and falling out of the moving motorhome and onto the Flinders Highway while returning from a fishing trip in Streaky Bay. He said that when they got back to the holiday home in Venus Bay, Peter became unresponsive after falling asleep on the couch. When first responders arrived at the residence, Peter was declared dead. The authorities spent hours collecting forensic evidence from the holiday house and the motorhome. Detective Superintendent Des Bray said it was clear that Peter had been dead for some time, and that the significant injuries to his body were not consistent with that of an accident. He added that we're happy that we can establish that Peter was a victim of a murder, as opposed to an accident. He said that although he recovered Peter's body at Venus Bay, they do not know where he died. The motive of the murder is unclear. Adam was taken into custody and is charged with Peter's murder. He appeared in the Port Lincoln court on the 31st of May where he was refused bail. His next court appearance will be in November. Both men were previously reported missing, Adam since 2020 and Peter since the 25th of May 2022. The police are urging anyone with information to come forward and contact Crime Stoppers, specifically any sightings of Peter or the motorhome at around 7 AM on the 29th of May, so they can map out their movements. The investigation into the matter continues. The authorities are investigating a shooting that left 1 man dead and 2 others injured after a fight broke out at the Airborne Hookah Lounge in Fayetteville, North Carolina. The incident occurred at just before 2:15 AM on the 30th of May 2022, located at 5007 Rayford Road, when officers responded to the scene on reports of a disturbance at the business. When officers arrived, they found a woman with life-threatening injuries from a gunshot wound. While investigating the matter, officers were told of 2 other people that had also been shot as a result of the altercation at the lounge. Police found 1 person shot in the car at Rayford Road and another gunshot victim at Cape Fear Valley Medical Center. 22-year-old Antwain Hoskins of Fayetteville died at the hospital from his injuries. 1 victim remains in the hospital and the other has been treated at the hospital and released. Their identities are withheld pending the investigation. On the 27th of May 2022, 54-year-old Michael Todd Hill of North Carolina was sentenced to life in prison without parole for the murder of his 23-year-old girlfriend Kiona Graham. The events unfolded at around 11 AM on the 20th of July 2020, when a housekeeper at the Shore Stay Hotel in Charlotte found Kiona's lifeless body in a 3rd-floor room with a gunshot wound to the back of her head. The authorities obtained surveillance footage from the hotel that showed Michael was the only person in the room with Kiona. Michael was arrested the following day in Southport. He confessed to shooting Kiona after he found out that she was sending text messages to other men while at the hotel. Michael's sentencing comes after he won $10 million in a lottery in August of 2017, after purchasing a scratch-off ticket at a local gas station. The authorities are investigating the fatal shooting of a man in Donaldsonville, Louisiana. The incident occurred at around 11:41 PM on the 30th of May 2022, when officers responded to reports of a shooting at a property along West 2nd Street. Upon arrival, deputies found a man outside a house suffering from multiple gunshot wounds. The victim, identified as 37-year-old Cedric Mumphrey, was transported to the Prevost Memorial Hospital but died a short time later. Officials found 45 shell casings at the scene. Details are limited at this early stage as the investigation into the matter continues. 33-year-old Krista Mortensen has been arrested and charged with murdering her 75-year-old stepfather, Michael Huff. The incident occurred at around 11 a.m. on the 25th of May 2022, located at a home at 471 North 100 East in Springville, Utah, when the authorities responded to a report of a possible homicide. First responders arrived at the scene and they found Michael dead with a gunshot wound to his head, and there was a gun found by his feet. When the investigators tried questioning Krista, she became uncooperative and locked herself in the bedroom and refused to come out. When officers managed to get inside the room, they found Krista in the fetal position with blood on her arms, hands and clothing. She then made an unprompted admission that she killed Michael. The motive of the attack is unclear. Krista was arrested and is charged with murder, obstruction of justice, and possession of a dangerous weapon by a restricted person.